Alrighty guys, it's time to have a jet fuel champagne shower. Alright, imagine flying to your favorite overseas destination, or even domestic destination, right, at half the price. Sounds okay, but it obviously sounds like a temporary deal. How about having this deal permanent? Being able to fly anywhere on Earth for half what you currently pay, permanently, forever, right? This is amazing new technology, which currently we don't use because we currently use jet fuel. Jet fuel is, well, dirty and it's heavy, right? The reason you are paying so much for your ticket when you fly overseas or domestically somewhere is because, well, the planes are heavy, right? The jet fuel needs to push you, your luggage, and itself, the plane and the fuel. It needs to push everything to its destination. But jet fuel is so heavy. And like I said, not very environmentally friendly either. It's very dirty, right? How about having a fuel tank? That's two girls could hold a fuel tank up. I mean, the girl on the right's kind of struggling, but still, I mean, it's still pretty light, right? How about having a fuel tank like that? Well, we're not even going to use jet fuel as well. That's just another thing. We're going to throw that out there right now. No jet fuel. How are we going to power it? Well, this ultra-light liquid hydrogen tank could replace jet fuel, and it has a neat trick up its sleeve. Now, there are a bunch of photos just to quickly show you, but I only want to read a small little bit and my concerns regarding this technology. This is futuristic stuff, right? Anyway, quick little read. So a futuristic cryogenic tank design has radically boosted the range of hydrogen-powered aircraft. Before this, I had no idea that hydrogen-powered aircraft was even a thing, but apparently it is. So they've boosted the range, right, to the point where clean fuel cell airlines could fly up to 4 times further than comparable planes running on today's dirty jet fuel. This is huge. Tennessee company, nicknamed GTL, has developed an ultra-lightweight cryogenic tank made from graphite fiber composites, among other materials, of course, as well, right? Now, GTL states that their test has shown a 75% mass reduction as compared with, state-of-the-art, bad technology, aerospace, cryotanks, metal or composite, right? This thing is ultra-lightweight, and it will be potentially used to fly your plane at some point, right? Now, read this. So, High Point says that it will enable clean aircraft to fly 4 times as far as comparable aircraft running on jet fuel, and the operating costs will be reduced by around 50% on a dollar per passenger mile basis. Wow. Now, hydrogen can be scary. It can be scary. Let's talk about that. But before we show you that, I mean, obviously rockets, right? Rockets are heavy pieces of machinery. The lighter you get the rocket, wow. You'd be able to fly up to the moon. Fly me to the moon, among the stars. I can't get the lyrics right, but imagine flying up there for a lot cheaper. I mean, it's not going to really affect you and me, but the millionaires will have a few more million in their bank, and they'll be happy about that, I'm guessing. But this is the Hindenburg. We all remember this beautiful, Nazi thingy, but it was beautiful in its moment, right? This is the interior skeleton of the thing. Beautiful. They thought this was the future at one point, but then it crashed and burned. People died. Many people died. This had hydrogen fuel inside of it. The airship was designed to be filled with helium gas, but because of US export restrictions on helium, it was filled with hydrogen. Helium isn't flammable, but hydrogen is. But I'm pretty sure hydrogen is more liftable. Hydrogen creates more lift, I do believe, than helium. Hydrogen is extremely flammable, and the official cause of the fire was due to a discharge of atmospheric electricity, a spark, right? Static electricity. And it happened near a gas tank on the ship's surface, according to history.com. But if you wanted to overlook that, Australian researchers claim giant leap in technology to produce affordable renewable hydrogen. What about electric aircraft? Elon Musk was actually talking about one of these at one point. He was asked, would you potentially make electronic aircraft at some point? He said, I think he said, my brain would probably explode if I gave it a go. So the potential to have an electric aircraft is there, but will hydrogen win out? But that's pretty much what happened, I'm guessing, roughly 100 years ago when the motor car was invented, right? Henry Ford invented it, right? People were frightened of petrol, diesel, gasoline. I don't think diesel was a thing back then. Maybe it was. I don't think it was though. It was just gasoline, right? I basically have no idea. I'm winging it at this point. But people hated the idea of traveling in a car or in a vehicle that used gasoline. What if it explodes and burns me? But then that takes us back to competing technology of potentially an aircraft that runs on electricity, right? There was this huge war back in the day, not a physical war, but a company war between cars, manufacturers, petrol and oil and gasoline companies, and electric vehicles, right? Electric vehicles were a huge thing back in the day. My mum has memories of her local milk van coming down her street in Liverpool, England. It was an electric vehicle. There was so many electric vehicles back in the 50s. Unfreaking believable. Where did they go? We could put our tinfoil hats on and basically say that the oil companies, the fuel companies, put a stop to these electric cars. And maybe they did. But there's also the idea that obviously the combustion engine was a better form of transportation compared to battery. It's at that point in time in the 50s, for example, battery technology was pretty terrible. You couldn't go for a long distance in a battery powered vehicle, but with petrol and gasoline powered vehicles you obviously could, right? So it's a bit of both, I think. So I think this technology is obviously awesome. What do you think? It's basically Blu-ray DVD versus high definition DVD. All right, we obviously know the Blu-ray one. Laserdisc versus DVD. Well, DVD one, obviously. Beta versus VHS. I mean, we know what's going to happen. There will be a war of technologies. I think that this probably will be safe. Just like we go on airplanes today that use jet fuel, just like we drive in cars and trucks today that use gasoline and diesel. This will probably be safe. But it's not about safety anymore, is it? Whose DVD player will we whose DVD player will we be using more so in the future? I don't know. Quick little video. What do you guys think about this? We're on 2 different channels, 2 and 1. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter at TallBoyGareth. Give us a like and subscribe. We're making videos here every week. I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Technology for the win. See ya.